This high-flying field trip is more than fun. It's also a great way to put these aerospace students' lessons into action. The Clothing Exchange is a Shawnee Mission PTA project that's helping district families make ends meet. Shawnee Mission Elementary students help in the design of Johnson County's new Kidscape and walking down memory lane as Trailwood Elementary says goodbye to its original building. It's all ahead on this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Welcome to Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. I'm your host, Leanne Neal. Engineering students enrolled in Shawnee Mission's Project Lead the Way signature program are taking flight. The students recently visited iFly, an indoor skydiving center, to learn more about the concepts of aerospace engineering.
Alrighty, what do you guys think?
It's pretty incredible.
It's awesome, right?
At the center, students worked with Emily Meyer, a Shawnee Mission East graduate and iFly's STEM educator.
So we're going to get started. I'm just going to talk about the math and science about skydiving, the engineering of how the tunnel works. Then you guys are going to get to go fly.
She spoke to students about ways the simulator serves as a laboratory and the role engineering plays at the facility.
There's two 350 horsepower fans on either side of the tunnel like this. That takes the wind, it blows it out towards the edges of the building, down the columns on the side underneath us and up through the inlet contractor, which is basically underneath here in our basement. That takes that air and forces it up into the tunnel, and that's where you guys fly.
It really helps with like the some of the drag and lift stuff that we've been learning about and how all these different forces apply to human bodies, to possibly planes as well. Then with the stuff we learned earlier in there, it applies really to like terminal velocity and how that works on different size and different weighing objects.
So we've actually talked about these ideas in class, and we've done some of the math to go along with it, but to actually experience it and to actually calculate for their own bodies what their terminal velocity would be, and then to see it played out in the wind tunnel, it's just a totally different experience than just the theoretical calculation.
Let's cover a few safety rules, and then we'll go ahead and get geared up.
A quick briefing in flight safety and technique. Then it was on to the main event.
Perfect. Throw that chin up in the air for me, just like that. Cinch it up. You're good to go, pal.
After suiting up in goggles, helmets, and flight suits, each student got to experience the iFly wind tunnel.
We got in a flight position, which is like get your arms out here, straight body like. And then we went up and down the tube and flew. It's really fun, but really hard. It's really hard because the wind's blowing so hard to keep your hand straight. It's a lot harder than it looks.
They can see how manipulating some of those variables that we talk about during the lecture can really affect their height in the tunnel or their speed or their directionality. It's really taking those kind of complex concepts of acceleration and velocity and terminal velocity and how that actually plays into your body position in the tunnel.
It's just overwhelming that it's like nothing you've ever done before. And for me watching the students, it's just fun to see them totally enjoy it, and also a great bonding experience for us, and to get to see ideas from class that we've talked about really become concrete and physical for them.
After their flight, the students worked with Meyer to calculate their terminal velocity and then compare it to the simulator's data.
It'll give us like a basis to go off of because we're doing all this work, we have no context or anything. Now we have some context to what it feels like.
I hope this will be something that we'll reference for the entire rest of the year as we talk about aerospace ideas through the upcoming months, that we will be able to come back to this moment and say, yeah, just like when we experienced this, that's exactly what we're talking about now with an airplane or with a rocket.
Shawnee Mission North put its new Learning Commons to use to help students discover more about the different fields of engineering.
We have about 25 engineers from the community. They came so that PLTW students can interview them about careers that they're interested in. So we have like structural, environmental, a lot of different types of engineers here. it's just an opportunity to talk to them about whatever you're interested in.
The advantage that you get from talking to people is no matter what business you're in, whether engineering or not, you're going to have to talk to people. So developing that social aspect is a big part of business and a big part of finding jobs and succeeding in life.
Today I'm explaining what my job is to the high school kids here who are interested in engineering and maybe don't have the best feel for what each discipline of engineering does. I'm here talking as a civil engineer.
I talked to a civil engineer who works with airports. So he has an aerospace background, which is something I'm a little bit interested in. I'm also going to talk to the environmental engineer because I'm interested in environmental engineering.
We have 23 engineers here today, and a part of that is that they were able to come in and support us in terms of providing an opportunity for our students to really understand the concepts behind the rigor that they're involved in the class. Now they get to see the relevance because they're talking to actual professionals that do this work day in, day out. So
I think this is awesome. It's good to get an opportunity to talk to people who actually have the career so that we can learn from it from someone who actually has the career instead of just a class on it.
I think it's great for them. It gets them motivated on doing the stuff, gets them more exposed to it instead of stumbling upon it much later in life.
I think it's awesome. I think it's a great opportunity to come in and really learn more about different fields and not only talk to engineers, but talk to some local engineering colleges like KU, Wichita State, K-State.
I'll start with civil stuff since you guys mentioned that. So you can see a picture here. This is for our CEAE department. We're here just to talk with current students about the KU School of Engineering and what types of programs we offer. We're here to talk a lot about our research opportunities and to help them kind of navigate choosing which school, which university is best for them and which area of engineering is best for them.
It's a really good way to get young kids involved in engineering, which is, a growing field, and we need more engineers. And so this is really helping them, see that, there is a marketplace out there, that if they make it through school, make it through college, that, most of them will have a job, that, a well-paying job at the end of the line. So I think it's good.
The fact that we have these type of programs and this event right here really gives us an advantage. We can actually tell colleges about this and move these into our applications. They'll go, wow, they did this. So it works out a lot better.
This event today is a good starting block, both for me and for all the other students that are here. So it kind of builds you up for later on in life and gets you really prepared.
Some gently used clothing is getting new life thanks to Shawnee Mission PTA's Clothing Exchange. We'll show you how this outreach is helping district families when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission continues.
Hi, my name is Janine. And I'm Sophie. And we read El Defo by C.C. Bell. This book is about a little bunny who becomes deaf at the age of 4. She has two sides. One side is an amazing superhero named El Defo, and the other side is a sweet, loving little Cece. She was able to do a lot when she wasn't deaf, but now she has to wear this big thing called a phonic ear. People made fun of her just because of the phonic ear, but then the superhero inside of her came alive. If you like action and adventure, you should read this book. We rate this book 5 out of 5 stars for its illustrations and accents. We think you'll like it.
Welcome back. An all-volunteer effort is making a difference for families in Shawnee Mission. The Shawnee Mission Area Council PTA Clothing Exchange takes donations of gently used clothing items and makes them available to those in the district who need them.
We bring our donations here because my kids understand that if we can't use it, it's not just something that needs to be thrown away or can be thrown away. Somebody else may be able to use it or can be repurposed for whatever reason.
In addition to donating, Ramirez volunteers at the clothing exchange with her children.
Well, we're just sorting clothes. We have a women's section, and then we have a men's section, and we sort them by like the size of the shirt or pants or whatever. We also have a kids section back there, and we're just technically taking out all the summer stuff and putting in new winter stuff in our sections.
As a middle school student, Esperanza has already learned the value in giving back.
I kind of enjoy this, and I realize I'm helping people, and it's a better thing to do than sitting at home and being on my laptop.
Lots of stuff to do.
Madeline and Libby came from Shawnee Mission East to help.
My mom had done it before, and she mentioned to me that it was really fun and it was a good way to kind of get involved. So today when we didn't have school, me and my friend came out and are volunteering.
I think it's a really cool organization and it's for a really good cause, and I'm happy to be here.
Clothing exchange chairperson Sarah Baker says she loves when students get involved.
It's important to teach them young so that we can build that in them and make them want to keep volunteering as they get older.
Each Shawnee Mission PTA unit provides volunteers along with money to purchase new underwear and socks.
I think it's the neatest thing in the world because you rarely find something that is actually nonprofit, and this really, truly is.
Liz Frederick started here as a recipient.
When we first came and were residents, we really had just no money at all, and we were moving from a warm climate to a cold climate. And I thought, I don't know how I'm going to put my kids in clothes this winter, and because of the clothing exchange, we absolutely flourished and were cute while doing it, and it was amazing.
It is definitely needed, and that there are more problems than people realize, and so I think it's good that it's getting attention.
Oh, I want to wear one.
It is a massively overwhelming need. I know this last week alone we had at least 25, 30 families come through our door. And then we also get orders from social workers and school nurses. You know, you never really realize how many families in this area need help.
It's an awesome program, actually. I wish that a lot more people knew about it. It would be good to keep. It's a good thing to keep. I don't want it to go anywhere, that's for sure.
My mind is blown. I've never ever seen this before, and I think that it's incredible that the school district has people who are willing to volunteer. It's incredible that the school district has people who are willing to donate. It's incredible that the school district takes the time and effort to help us and to provide a location for us. It's an open manifestation of how much they care about their students.
This place, I don't know, it holds a special place in my heart, but I hope that everybody takes a chance at least once to come in and volunteer through their school and see what kind of impact you really can have on your community. It's just amazing, and it leaves you with this amazing, fulfilled feeling in your heart.
The clothing exchange is open each Monday when schools are in session. Shopping hours are from 9 to 11 in the morning, except for the second Monday of each month when the exchange is open from 5 to 7 in the evening. A big celebration at Merriam Park Elementary. The school now has new resources to explore ways to engage its community and build support for students.
Today we had an assembly, a surprise assembly, because we had a huge announcement. The Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation, we are partnering with them. We wrote a grant last May, and they are funding our grant. They're giving us $110,000 to implement the community schools model here at Merriam Park.
The Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation believes in Merriam Park. They're giving us $110,000!
So our individual schools grant program supports individual schools in the Kansas City metro area, so the 6-county area. Grants are for schools to explore new opportunities. This is a way for Merriam Park to really innovate and try something that is happening elsewhere in some places, but hasn't happened in Shawnee Mission yet.
Merriam Park has been like a second home, and the staff and students a second family. I like to think of us as a great big beehive where we all take care of each other.
Merriam Park. Where do I even start? I have lots of memories here. I've been here since kindergarten, and it has always been a wonderful place to learn. Yeah, I've had my bad days, but in the end, it's all okay.
So basically the community schools model, it centers around health, wellness, and character development. The best part about community schools is that the community, the kids, the staff, they get to pick how the money is spent. So we'll survey them, and from the results from the survey, then we'll go out and start implementing the following years.
This was the grant writing team. So they helped us get the money so we can spend it on you guys. So they helped write pages and pages for us. So please say thank you. 1, 2, 3.
The assembly was awesome, and we are so grateful for the Ewing Marion Kauffman Foundation and the support and the belief in Merriam Park and the idea that we have of following the national model for community schools and growing that model as a flagship for the Shawnee Mission School District here.
If someone were to ask me why Merriam Park, take a look around. There's 500 reasons right here. Students, you are creative, you are kind, and you are resilient. I am so glad I get to work with you every single day. Thank you for making me a better principal.
Merriam Park's community school model is under development with plans to launch in the 2017-2018 school year. Project-based learning that the whole community will soon see will show you what a group of creative third graders is doing. Plus, elementary students learn the art of the interview by making their own newscasts when Spotlight on Shawnee Mission continues. Welcome back. A group of 6th graders at Rushton are keeping students and staff in the know about their school. Check out how they're bringing the Rushton news and reviews to life.
Thanks, Jocelyn. I'm Lillian Young, and I'm here with next quarter staff for Rushton News and Reviews. Are you excited to be the next Rushton News and Reviews crew?
Rushton News and Reviews is a podcast that is student-led,
I'm really happy that I was
where
selected.
the students come up with the stories and the ideas. They'll do the interview, edit it, get it to me for final approval, and then we'll put it out on the internet for all the world to see.
What are some things you like about Rushton News and Reviews?
Well, I like how you interview people. It's funny to get what they have in their state of mind or state of being.
My dad actually was always in radio, part of radio, and I always had a nice little love for radio because of that. And I thought, how cool would it be if the kids could have the experience of doing something kind of radio-like?
Well, it's like a newscast, I would say. We gather teachers and we ask them questions, trying to gather information for Rushton so the school population knows what's all going on and what teachers think of, what they do.
We hope people will learn things that they haven't learned before, and we hope they would enjoy to meet new teachers or learn about different subjects.
For every podcast that we did, we had some topics that we knew that we needed to cover. Like, for example, meet the new teacher was something that we knew we had to cover. So every week we would choose one of the teachers that were new to the school. Other than that, there's a lot of leeway on what you can choose. But I think most of the important stuff that we learned was how to be confident and be really clear in what you say.
So what I enjoyed about it is that I get to do whatever I like, so it's not like, oh, you have to do this. No, we can choose whatever we want to do. And what I've gotten to do so far is interview one of our new art teachers. I've also gotten to do sports, which sports are my favorite. And then I've also gotten to do, interview Miss Coleman, our secretary, and I've enjoyed that so far.
They're learning basic interview skills, which is actually one of the 6th grade standards for English and language arts, is how to do an interview and present stuff in front of people. I hope it just promotes the kids to do more stuff locally where, oh, that's a cool opportunity that that kid did. I want to try that. Or here's something that's going on in our community that people might not know about, so let's do a story on that so more people can then get involved and do stuff like that to really bring community involvement together with the school.
Episodes of the podcast can be found on Rushton's website on the school announcements page. Social studies lessons are coming to life for third grade students at Ray Marsh. Through project-based learning, they're helping Johnson County Museum redesign its kids area.
I am so happy to see you. We had some people help us design the new Kidscape, and you are the first kids to look at the design.
Today we had Michelle Brewer, who's the education curator of the museum, come to visit, and she allowed our kids to see some of the new proposals or drawings of the Kidscape exhibit, which is the exhibit in which the kids get to have free play in different aspects of a community.
We have 3 different areas. You can play in the suburbs, you can play in the city, or you can play in the country.
We're trying to help the museum since they're moving, and they want to know what other stuff that they can put in and to help make the museum better.
What our kids did through Ray Marsh for Kidscape is they were the last class to come through on a field trip to our Lackman location, and we did some surveying after they played in our Kidscape. And now what I did today was I brought them the plans that we've been working on with Dimensional Innovations for a new floor plan for Kidscape, and asking them what they think about it. What do they love? What might not they play in? And then how can they help us make it a little better? So I'm really excited about the feedback today. If the barn is your favorite, could you raise your hand for me?
I think it allows kids to really think outside the box a little bit in terms of the construction, in terms of what the purpose of a museum is. And I also think it helps them to kind of think through the lives or the in a way, walk in the shoes of others when they think about their community and when they think about different time periods as well.
This is great. This is really good information.
Yeah, it's like really cool and it's really exciting.
And like there's a lot of pretty fun stuff and great ideas in it.
So it seems like your favorites are the schoolhouse, City Hall, and the cave.
We appreciate the partnership. We feel fortunate. Johnson County Museum has been more than welcoming to us and just really gone out of their way to help our kids have a good experience in Shawnee Mission.
This is such a great opportunity for them to feel like they're a part of it, like their opinions matter, and that they had a say in something that will be in our community for a long, long time.
I think they were good ideas, and I think we helped out the museum.
The museum will be part of a new Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center at 87th and Metcalf. It's scheduled to open in May of 2017. Up next, the opening of a new building means the end of an era. We'll show you how the Trailwood community is saying goodbye to an old friend.
Hi, my name is Tori.
My name is Nathan.
We read the book Crossover by Kwame and Alexander. This story is told through poem.
But don't let that scare you off. It is a great book. Crossover is a story about a boy named Josh Bell, aka Filthy McNasty. He and his twin brother Jordan love basketball. They are the best on the team.
Jordan soon finds a new love interest named Alexis. Josh is mad that his brother is always hanging out with his girlfriend. One game, Josh reaches his tipping point and makes a choice he soon regrets. Next, his family has an even bigger burden and must support each other like never before.
We rate this book 5 out of 5 stars because it is very interesting. Read it.
Welcome back. The Trailwood Thunderbirds now have a new roost. Their 50-year-old facility has been replaced with a brand new building. But saying goodbye to this much history isn't easy. So shortly before they moved, the Thunderbirds invited everyone to come by and take a walk down memory lane.
The Thunderbirds are the greatest birds. All over the world its song is heard. The Trailwood Thunderbirds are we.
Tonight at Trailwood we are having an open house farewell event for our original building that was established in 1962 because we are about to move out of this building into a beautiful new building next door. Quite a few alumni contact us to ask if we were going to do anything for them, and was there a way for them to come walk through the building, kind of one last time. And so we took it from there and decided to plan tonight's event, which should be a lot of fun.
I'm an ambassador, and because of the new school, a ton of people who went here or had kids that went here, or somebody just related to somebody who went here, they're coming to enjoy the old school before it gets torn down for the new school that's being built.
We have a library full of nostalgia with old yearbooks and PTA scrapbooks and time capsules. We have our Trailwood Choir singing tonight. We have the Indian Woods Middle School Jazz Band performing tonight. One thing we're going to try to do is encourage our guests who are alums to record a quick video memory of Trailwood for us, and we're going to try to capture those and put them in one place, ideally our yearbook for this year.
So right now I am recording favorite Trailwood memories with this iPad. We have videos of people that were students here, cool favorite memories.
I was here 62 to 66, first year it opened. When it opened, it wasn't ready, so they shipped us to Brookwood for 3 months. And then when it opened, the cafeteria wasn't ready, so they brought the lunches in from the district office in sacks. And it was just this one hall, and that was it.
Yeah, it makes me sad to see the building go. It was lots of good memories in this place.
I was in 4th grade. With the up-to-date building right next door, will Principal Lawrence miss this old one?
I will, and this is actually only my 3rd year at Trailwood, and I will. It's a wonderful place. I'm very, very excited to move next door, and I think the general feeling of the community is we're all very excited to move next door, but this building has definitely held a lot of great memories for a lot of years.
A sentiment echoed by current students as well.
I am excited and not excited at the same time because I've been at this school for 6 years, and also I also want to see the new school too.
I think personally I'm going to be really sad because I spent kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade in it. And those were the best years of my life because I love my teachers and I love all my classmates.
It is going to be sad, but change happens, and change is always good, and it's always tough to say goodbye to something that meant so much to so many people. But there are going to be lots of new traditions and lots of new exciting things happen that are going to make the new Trailwood School just as impressive as this one.
I think the kids are all really excited about the new building. They've been able to watch it from the time they broke ground, and so it's been fun for them to watch the whole process, I think.
I really love this building because I met my first friends, my best friends here. I love Trailwood, and it's a great place to be.
The new Trailwood facility features a separate gym and cafeteria with a full-service kitchen, a makerspace in the library, and design features that allow for better student collaboration. That's all the time we have for this episode of Spotlight on Shawnee Mission. Join us again as we continue to feature the programs and people of Shawnee Mission who are helping guide students to success. Thank you for watching.